Hello, friends of the internet. Last time I uploaded a video to this channel, I was talking about how I had just got my first job. Since that video, I have had 4 different jobs. Yeah, the first job I had, it was like a waitress type thing. I figured out I hated it within 2 days of working there. It wasn't really the job I hated, it was the managers and my the coworkers. So I quit the job after 2 days. I can't say I enjoyed that job because I didn't. And I definitely did not enjoy going home smelling like tater tots. But when I quit that job, I was relieved. I just didn't want to work there anymore. And it was only 2 days. It was only 2 days I worked there, and I just hated it so much. I had started my next job like maybe a week or two after quitting my first job. Yeah, the training was long, so I got paid for that. So most of me working there was training. It's like a factory type of thing, which I didn't really enjoy, but it was a job, so what can you do? And my supervisor was a real a-hole. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy him. Some of the coworkers were nice, but it was like miscommunication all around. I feel like it was one person was telling me one thing, and then the supervisor was telling me another thing, and then like by my second day of actually being on the floor working there, the supervisor called me out and told me, like, yeah, you need to step your game up. I'm like, dude, this is my second day. Cut me some slack. But he did not cut me some slack because the next day he fired me. Yeah. No, I don't really like being fired. That wasn't fun. But I didn't like the job. I didn't like the people. I didn't like the environment. So, all in all, I can't really complain about that. My third job came months later. Like, I went months without having another job, like a very similar job to the last one. It was one of those things where anyone who applies can basically get in, but you still have to have like an interview and all this stuff, and you have to pass all these different tests to get in, and I passed the test, so I was like, okay, why not? I didn't really like this one either. It was like the same kind of environment, but the people were nicer. The people were nice, but the hours were horrible. My first day there on the floor after training was exciting, and I was like trying to get to know people. I was really anxious, but I was kind of excited to get to know everybody and see what I was doing and really, really learn this time. I didn't want it to end up like my last job where they were like, oh, you're not doing things right and oh, we're just going to fire you. So, and everybody had a better attitude at this job. So I was trying to follow everyone and learn everything, and by the second day, my anxiety was so strong, and just the environment, there were so many people in these tiny compact little areas, and I felt like so like closed up in this place, and it's really making my anxiety bad. Plus, like I said, the hours were horrible. I wasn't able to fully grasp what I had to do on my job because I was really just so nervous about everything. I was super anxious, and the biggest thing that happened in 2014, they're opening this big movie theater, restaurant, bowling alley type of thing. It's this big entertainment building place where you go and you have fun and all that stuff. And they're opening in my small little town. So I thought I should apply for that. I went and applied, and they called me in for an interview. So I went into the interview. Like I said, I was really nervous, just like all the other interviews I've been to, but I can honestly say since my very first interview that I had at the beginning of last year, things like I have gotten 10 times better at interviews since then. Um, I guess it's just the kind of the more you learn about it, the more you experience an interview, the better you get at it. So I can definitely say I have. I was more calm. I was nervous, but I was more calm. I wasn't shaking the whole time like I was the first time. My face wasn't completely red. Um, I was making eye contact, which is amazing for me because I'm not usually great at eye contact, but that's something I've become better at. And I was nice and I smiled a lot and I was trying to be polite and all this stuff and professional. Right after that interview, they told me, hey, can you come back in an hour for another interview? And I said, okay. So I came back in an hour and there were more people there and it was a group interview. I was panicking. I was like, no, I can't do this. I was seriously trying to talk myself out of it, but then there's like a battle going on. Like, no, you can't do this. This is horrible. You have to do it. It might not be that bad. A long story short, I ended up doing the interview. We went into this little theater thing. They put us into groups of 4. They made us go in a row and introduce the other person, so we had to learn each other's names and what we were there for and where we came from and our age and all that. There were about 15 other people in the room, and we had to speak in front of all of them and introduce the other person, and I did it. And it was nerve-wracking, definitely. Wow, was it nerve-wracking. But I did it, and I'm super, super proud of that. They split us up and called half of the whole room outside, and they were going to tell one group if they get the job or not, and they didn't call me out of the room. And I was like, oh crap. You could just see everybody's faces. They're like, no, we didn't get this job. And then they were like, congratulations, you got the job. And I was so ecstatic. That was probably the proudest I have been all year because it was something that I didn't want to do. It's something that I was really, really super scared of. And I did it. Like, I told my dad before I went to the interview, I said, if this is a group interview, I'm not going. But I did. But the thing about this job was it's basic. It was a new company type of thing. So they didn't have a lot figured out and they were having an early opening because of that new Hunger Games movie. So a lot of us didn't get training, including me. First day I went to orientation, they told everybody their job positions, and I had applied for like arcade or, concession, something like that. They put me as a restaurant host. Why? Why finally something good happens and then now I'm a restaurant host. And I didn't want to say no to the job because I worked for this job. I actually tried for this job. I did the interview and I got it. And so I didn't want to just give it up. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. As long as they train me well, I'll be fine. Guess what? I didn't get trained. Yay! Basically, I just got thrown out there. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what tasks I was supposed to be doing. So basically, I was just tossed out there into this restaurant, having to greet people and seat them, and I don't know the rules to that. Opening week. I mean, this is within the first few days of the whole place opening, so it was packed. And then I was there all the way till nighttime, and it got so busy, and I was I think I handled it a little bit better than I thought I would have. I don't like the job of being a host, but sometimes it's nice. There are nice people that come in sometimes and they compliment you and they say nice things, and that's nice. That's nice. But I think the biggest issue I have are the servers. They just get angry if you don't do things right. If you seat too many people at their table sections, they don't like it. A lot of people get angry at me at this job, and it's usually by the people that work there. And then they look at me across the room like with a glare like, you didn't tell me that person was gonna sit at my table. I'll probably make an update video soon, letting you know about everything, I suppose. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.